Commandos, Season 1, Episode 6, and this episode is all about Doctor Phosphorus. Now, his story is set in Gotham, and this might be a situation where me knowing a lot about the source material might have hurt my enjoyment of it. Because, and definitely when it comes to DC, definitely on the Batman side of things, that me seeing Doctor Phosphorus' origin story, I was like, this is Man-Bat, this is Clayface, this is Mr. Freeze. His origin story doesn't feel that unique with it. I mean, it's unique with the show, but it's a tragedy. I mean, nothing says Gotham but tragedy. I mean, hell, Crime Alley, for example. But it doesn't scream when it comes to the Gotham and the Batman side of the DC universe. His origin story doesn't feel that different, really. It's tragic. It's a gory version of it. But for me, the story of a scientist working on something, or meant to be working on something, and then is working on something else, high ups finds out, they are not happy, and they kill him, or trying to kill them, with the said thing that said scientist was working on, and then, but they turn into a big supervillain, and it's seek revenge. Now, the revenge part, nothing says, you do want to see these, Mafia characters getting killed off for all the brutality, all the horrible things that these characters do. I mean, it's Ruth Thorne, for God's sakes. Ruth Thorne, who was introduced in Batman the Animated Series. And he's kind of like the main, third Mafia option. Okay, you don't want to use Falcone. Okay, you don't want to use Black Mask. Okay, Ruth Thorne's the third pick. And clearly he is meant to be the third pick because he doesn't make it by the end of this episode. And you are on this wonderful, bloodlust along with Dr. Rackets. But before he becomes the green glowing skeleton, it just feels very, I'm like, got by numbers. And, and then, but him taking on, him becoming crime boss. That was interesting. That was entertaining. That was, no, I'll say entertaining, but that was the more engaging part, and of course, those 2 seconds. I mean, I wouldn't call it the first appearance, like a full introduction, but technically it's the first appearance of Batman in this new cinematic universe. I mean, it's 2 seconds. He's pointing an anime series with the lighting ball and all that kind of stuff, and it's just a silhouette. He doesn't talk, doesn't fight, doesn't do anything. We don't know what the suit looks like, all that kind of stuff. So, but, I'll take 2 seconds, me as a Batman guy. I'll take 2 seconds versus no seconds. I'm happy with that. Happy with that, indeed. Now, when it comes to with the modern day stuff, there's a little bit of concern I have with the modern day stuff, because technically this is the second last episode, and this would probably feel like a completed story, and then season 2 will come along and it will feel like its own completed story, right? So when it comes to it being the second last episode, I'm like, there's a lot to unpack. Unless this is going to be like a 40-minute episode, which I doubt it is going to be. I think it's going to hit like 20-ish, 27, I believe. I feel worrisome that it's going to be so packed together and everything's going to feel very Disney Plus-y, where they're just going to wash everything and wrap up everything. Because you're dealing with, yes, you got the Nina storyline to go through, because she's the only member that we don't know her origin story of. Then we got Frankenstein's. Then we have to stop, and then it's stopping the princess, and Weasel starting to have his storyline about saving the princess, because the princess reminds him of the little girl who died in the fire that he got blamed on. I was like, God, there's a lot of packing in 20 minutes. 22, 23 minutes. So hopefully it's at least 30 minutes. Hopefully. But but the stuff with the Brian Nina is pretty good. All the stuff with the brothel, pretty solid. Pretty solid. Also kind of shows Nina, like, Nina hasn't really done much. You know, you're kind of thinking, why is Mela Waller a recruiter? What's the reason? Must be, because she's, you know, water-based, maybe. You know, she's water-based. But, so she can probably, you know, take people out underwater. Yeah, maybe. But outside of that, I'm thinking, she just hasn't done much. Maybe you'll punch here and there, but, like, she's kind of, you know, hiding behind things. Like, what's the big thing? But you find out, like, when she's trying to save that woman getting beaten by a client, because once again it's like a brothel. She's, you know, sort of stabs that dude. You know, stabs that dude in the neck, breaks the bottle, all that. So you can see, like, Nina's able to take care of herself. Which I'm kind of curious if it's a situation of her also story is, because she looks different, she got harassed because of her appearance, and while trying to fight them off or trying to push people away and say, leave me alone, she actually killed someone. I wouldn't be sure that's the reason she's in, she's part of Task Force M. But, the bride stuff, breaking the arm of that mega human, you know, the brothel stuff is great. I enjoyed that, and it was leading up to the big finale and all that. Didn't realize, technically, Weasel's just a messed up looking wolf. That's technically what he is. Like, what is Weasel? He's a wolf. You know, with, like, maybe human-esque features and bug eyes and maybe like a human mixed with a wolf. That's basically what he is. But yeah, we only got one more episode to go of season 1. We don't know when season's going to come out. Maybe next year, maybe 2027. But it's animation, so they could easily. It's animation, so they could easily maybe make it in 2027. And because you're getting actors in the booth, it's not that hard. It's just maybe a day or two in the booth, maybe a week at least, maybe a day per episode kind of thing. But yeah, looking forward to the finale. Comment below. Let me know your thoughts of the